everybody? It's your girl Sofia, aka Sophie, back here on Sophia's Football Talk to preview the Aston Villa versus Man United, the women's team, as the WSL is back in action this upcoming Sunday. I, I've been very much of an advocate to promote and talk about making a platform for the women's football, especially when, in regards to the World Cup, which, I try to cover it as much as possible as I enjoyed it. And I want to be able to also cover the women's football, especially when it comes to Man United women's team, who, it's not really that many years ago where this women's team um, finally got established. Um, and they've gotten a long way since then, done very well, even with the restrictions of course, the owners that we have that haven't really been the best on um, investing into the women's team, but we're going to be focusing on it. And I'm definitely not necessarily the most knowledgeable when it comes to women's football, especially minorities women. But I want to be able to do more research and to follow along as I do heavily watch the men's team. So we will be doing some content every now and then in regards to how Man United's women's team is doing. So, if all that sounds good to you, make sure that you, of course, give this video here a big thumbs up, as well as also subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. We are on the road to 3K subscribers. Feel free to also join the SFT membership. Link is in the description box. But yeah, let's talk. So, before we fully start to preview that game, I do want to talk about, like I said, they're going to be back in action this upcoming Sunday. We will be doing a match reaction, live match reaction for that game. So stay tuned for that. But I want to talk about how they've done, last season. Obviously, they had a very good good season with being so close to winning the actual league. Just 2 points behind Chelsea. On that final day, that was when all of it got, was finished and Chelsea won the league 3 times in a row. The Chelsea women's team, we all know come on, they've been doing this for years. They way ahead of how we are at the moment. But the fact that we could have, and also when, which I did do a watch along for a few months ago, the Women's FA Cup final between Chelsea and Man United, where Man United did lose at the end, but they played very well. The only thing that they were lacking, or we, I should say, were lacking, was being clinical and scoring the goals. Other than that, they had a good game. If we're going to compare that to the men's team, who lost in a very more so humiliating matter to Man City, with awarding them the treble and all that, which we technically could have hindered, but here we are. Here we are. I digress. Either way, Man United women's team was very close to getting not one but two trophies last season. Now they're going to be qualifying. Technically they're going to be in like a knockout-ish qualification for the Champions League. So, which I believe is going to be two different legs between PSG women's team, which I think is going to be played early October. So we'll definitely try to cover that as much as we can. But I think with how far they've gotten and with some players that we've lost, we lost Alicia Russo, obviously, this past season, went, honor free to our arch nemesis Arsenal. There's been other players, of course, that's left as well. But we've still gotten a lot of incomings as well that I do want to shout out. So even though I feel like the men's team have, maybe some of the transfers that we've done, the transfer business that we've done this summer has been a little bit underwhelming in some regards when it comes to the men. However, on the other hand, when it comes to the women's team, it's quite different. It's actually been a lot of income. It's a lot of outgoings as well. Don't get it twisted, but also some very key good players that you know needs to be talked about and might actually be able to become an integral part into what is to become of this upcoming season. We'll see, of course, how far and at the end of this stream, which is not going to be the longest, but we'll see what I assume and what I'm predicting, what I'm expecting of the women's team. Mark Skinner, I believe it is. He's still the is it Squid or Skidder? One or the other. That guy. Still, the manager, and I would say he's done a good job. And we'll have to wait and see how far we can go. Do feel free to, of course, chime in with your comments as well. And if you're watching this on replay, I would love, of course, to also hear your thoughts about the women's team, your expectation at the end of it. But let's talk about some of the signings that they've made, or actually say all the new signings. So we have Gemma Evans, who came from Reading. We have Geisa da Silva, Ferreira, who came from Barcelona. I remember watching her in the Women's World Cup for Brazil, and she was like, she kind of impressed me. We also have Emma Watson, who completed a permanent move in August. Now, sadly, it was um, confirmed that she sustained an injury. So that will definitely set her on the sideline for a while. So, best well wishes to her, and I hope she comes back, you know, fit. We also have one that definitely excites me is Hinata Miyazawa from Japanese side Minavi Sendai. She was the FIFA Women's World Cup Golden Boot winner. Okay, um, she. I mean, I was watching. Y'all know I was covering a lot of I mean, obviously Norway, who I've been repping, was knocked out by Japan in the I believe it was round of 16 of the Women's World Cup this past summer. And they Japan was like for me a dark horse to maybe potentially winning it. Obviously, it was Spain at the end, but Japan was a very good side, and she definitely with becoming the Golden Boot winner, scoring the most goals in that tournament. She was an integral part to why Japan did so well and played some very exciting football. So the fact that we got her, I cannot wait to see her in action for sure. We also did sign defender Evi Rabjon from Aston Villa, also World Cup winner Irene Guerrero from Atletico Madrid, which then made Ville Berisa go the other way to join the Spaniards. As she's been here 2 years at Man United, wasn't necessarily able to get, I don't know, to really be an integral part of Mark's team squad, which was unfortunate. And I do really rate Villa Berisa, but hopefully she gets a lot of playing time for Atletico Madrid. But yeah, I don't know too much about Irene Guerrero other than what I've seen from Spain and the World Cup. But hey, interesting. This one, though, defender Gabby George returned from Everton. Okay, she is the cousin of Jesse Lingard. Okay, she. I'm excited to definitely see her in action for sure. I do follow her on Instagram. I'm like, okay, cool. We also did sign goalkeeper Fallon Toulouse Joyce from NWSL club OL Reign, and also forward Melvin Millard from Lyon on a loan deal. So very exciting talents. And I'm not going to sit there and say that I'm an expert on all of them. Like I said, there's a few that I'm aware of, and there's others that I'm obviously I don't know much about, haven't seen them before, but I'm intrigued. Like I said, I want to watch more women's football. I want to be able to also support and follow along with the women's team, how they're doing. So I'm going to do that as much as I can on this channel and showcase that because we want to be diverse. We want to have this platform be a platform for everybody, you know? Not just one Man United team. Like we started off with just be following the Man United men's team, and now we've progressed with doing a lot of different leagues as well, international football. So I'm trying to dive more into also, like I said, covering the women's football, which we are doing. When it comes to Man United women's outgoings, we have Sophie Begale. And by the way, pardon me if I'm butchering any names. So sorry. She now went to Brighton. We have Una Batil from who now returned. She now goes back to her former club, Barcelona. That definitely is a bad. I'm thinking she definitely was a treasure. That is very unfortunate. I mean, I've heard great things about her, and very unfortunate, of course, that she, you know, has now left. But hey, and like I said, Villa Beris at Atletico Madrid, uh, Tara Bourne to Sheffield United, Estelle Cascarino at Paris Saint Germain. Oh, Cascarino, she might be the sister of the other Cascarino, the French one, I think. Then we have Ivana Ferreira Fuso to Birmingham City, Christy Hansen to Aston Villa, Kerry Jones to Bristol City, Adriana Leon also to Aston Villa, Jade Moore to TBC, Naam Murphy to Blackburn Rovers, Emily Ramsey to Everton, Lisa Russo, like I said, to Arsenal, Martha Thomas to Tottenham, Maria Turisdottir, who went to Brighton. She plays for the Norwegian national team. Her father is actually from Iceland, and he um, manages the Norwegian women's handball team. He's been doing that for years and been very successful at that. So she now went, unfortunately. She's also sustained, I think she had a big injury that set her for a long time. She wasn't a part of the Women's World Cup for Norway due to the injury, but she's now back playing now for Brighton. We also have Aissatou Tunkara to, like I said, to PSG. And lastly, Chloe Williams to Blackburn Rovers. When it comes to outs in terms of loan departure, we have Elisa Ahen to Everton, Kiera Berry to Crystal Palace, Grace Clinton to Spurs, Bella Raidford to Burnley, which says dual registration, and Jess Simpson to Bristol City. Yes, yes, yes. So that's that when it comes to the incomings, but also the outgoings. So it's a squad with a lot of people, a lot of shifting out. And I know I've also heard there. I mean, potentially next season we could maybe see the FIFA best women's goalkeeper Mary Earps, who I do have the kit of, might maybe potentially leave. I don't know. There is some type of trying to maybe work out a new contract. She hasn't really signed it yet. Potentially she could be going. I mean, we have gotten a new goalkeeper in, so I don't know. I really do like Mary Earps though, so I hope she stays. But hey, you can't force it. If she doesn't want to be here, she doesn't want to be here. So it is what it is. Essentially, it is what it is. Keep liking the video, everybody. The more likes we get, the more we're able to push the video out there for more people to see. But yeah, so in regards to the game on Sunday, it's gonna be obviously the opening game. Um, It will be, I believe, an 11:30 a.m. kickoff for those who live in the UK. Um, and it's going to be obviously Aston Villa away. So Aston Villa hosting Man United women's team. And it's a game that I think and expect us to win. We just had, a preseason tour with different teams here and there. I haven't really been able to catch and watch and that, but we will be, of course, 100% following along with the this opening game. And I believe also, I think it's not, it might be actually next week where we're going to be facing Arsenal, actually. So we'll, see Alicia Russo with against her former team, which is us, Man United. That would definitely be very interesting to see. But for the game on Sunday, is it a game that we will be winning? Hopefully, hopefully. My expectation probably, or my predicted score for that game, I'm going to say 2-1 to Man United. And I think maybe one of our new forwards, Hinata, might be, scoring that. Hopefully. Japanese, she great. That's what I'm going to say. But what is the expectation for the upcoming season? How far do I think this Man United's team will be going? I mean, obviously, like I said, we're going to be, trying to qualify in regards to the Women's Champions League, which actually they do showcase, by the way. If anybody are interested, the Women's Champions League games are covered like on, I think it's DAZN on YouTube. They do have the rights for it, so there's been some women's Champions League games that I've been watching, so that's very nice. But there will be Man United playing um, both two legs against PSG, and I think it'll definitely be tough. I don't know if it's necessarily just going to be. I think it's just going to be that, and then we'll go through. Is what I'm thinking, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Either way, obviously, once we get closer to that fixture, we'll probably do a video or a stream in regards to that. Like, okay, how you know all of the nitty gritty. But my expectation is hopefully to be able to just at least go past PhD, and however we need to qualify, just get into the Champions League, into the group stages, and see how far we can do there. That's kind of my expectation because this is the first time they're going to even play in the Champions League, if they, of course, you know, do qualify through the knockout rounds and all of that, I believe. Um, but when it comes to the actual season, I would say top four. I mean, we got second, hopefully, and we were very close to winning it. Maybe try to win it again. Try to go on a title charge. Why not again? Why not? And then, but this time though, actually getting a trophy, whether that be an FA Cup or anything in regards to that, try to do it because they were very close. We were very close last season, and I'm hoping that we can be able to do it this upcoming season as well. So that basically is my main um, prediction when it or expectation, I should rather say, when it comes to the men and the women's team, and I cannot wait to be able to cover it more. Like I said, we will be doing a match reaction for the game against Aston Villa on Sunday. We'll try to do some, previews every now and then for any. It depends on if it kind of collides with some of the other content I do within events football in general as well. But we'll try. We're gonna cover as much as possible. I know that, you know, I grew a lot when it came to the viewers and the subscribers in general, I should say. During the Women's World Cup, there was a lot of people really enjoying the content I did on the women's football. So I want to continue to do that because, hey, this is a platform, and I need to make this platform more inclusive, right? And I want to make it more diverse as well. So I think that's important. And also, I just enjoy football in general, and I want to gain more knowledge. So like I said, I don't know anything. I should not say anything. I don't know. There's still a lot of stuff that I'm learning in terms of the women's football, in terms of the YSL, Champions League, all of the nitty gritty. But we're getting there, and I'm excited to find more and to watch more. I do want to recommend Mina's football though. She definitely knows a lot football in general. Um, so I will definitely have to have her on the channel next month probably to talk more, maybe talk more about the women's football in general. But do subscribe to her channel. But yeah, I think we're gonna end it at that. I didn't want this to be the longest stream. This is going to be the last stream for today, and then I'll be back tomorrow night to react to some of the Premier League games. Of course, Man United, Crystal Palace. We might do like City and Wolves if anything happens there, but especially the big one, which is of course Spurs versus Wolves. We do need to be able to react to that, so we'll see if we have some guests on for then. Other than that, I hope that all of you guys have a great time wherever you are in the world. If you haven't watched the stream that I did earlier today, which was the preview for Man United versus Crystal Palace on the men's side, do check that out. It'll definitely be linked after this. But yeah, have a great time wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out. Sophie's out. Bye bye. Like, share, and subscribe.
Are you all right? Yes. No, you are all left.